Introducing the new £154,000 McLaren 570 GT. A different kind of sports car from McLaren because it has, claim its creators, been designed to be an out-and-out road car. A grand touring car no less, that can be used all day, every day. Which is why it boasts a luggage area behind its front seats that's accessed by an elegant new folding rear window, and why its suspension is slightly softer than before, its steering a touch less manic. The GT still boasts the same monstrous 562 bhp twin-turbo V8 however, and it's still capable of bending the space-time continuum pretty much at any time you choose. But what's it really like to drive, and how different is it in character to the excellent 570S on which it's based? Auto Express went to Tenerife recently to find out.
Well, as we've come to expect from McLaren nowadays, it's just a belter, it really is. The GT, as you can probably tell from its name, is quantifiably and deliberately that bit softer than the 570S. It's got exactly the same engine, exactly the same dual clutch gearbox. It weighs a touch more, 40 odd kilograms more than a 570S. The springs are 10 to 15% softer. The steering is actually a couple of percent less sharp, less kind of precise, because they just want it to feel, you know, like a proper Grand Tourer, and it really does on the move. I mean, it still feels nutcase fast. It does have this nice, definitely more chilled feel to the way it goes down the road. It still feels like a sports car, no question about it, but it just doesn't feel quite so manic. Having said that, wow. No, it doesn't. I mean, does it feel relaxed? No. But it definitely feels less crazed than the 570S. Lovely brakes, brilliant gearbox. They've retuned the ESC system, and I actually think it's a little bit too intrusive now. Second gear, it won't give you full throttle. Even third gear on slightly bumpy roads like this, and it still won't give you full throttle. Even with the drive program set to track and the chassis set to sport. As per before, you've got three settings: normal, sport and track. But all the time the ESC just feels like it wants to kind of take care of you just a bit too much. What these new McLarens do so nicely is just give you so much feel through the steering and through the seats, even through the brake pedal, even through the throttle pedal. There's lovely feel. So you just feel completely at one with this car, no matter kind of what speed you drive it at. If you drive it really quickly, it's just absolutely delightful. It just feels totally tuned in to the centre part of your brain that wants to steer the car, you know, really smoothly and accurately down the road. You kind of drive it with your brain rather than your hands and feet. It's that kind of, the experience it's got is that precise. But then if you just want to kind of relax and bumble along, stick it in D, it does have this extra side to its personality. It does have this kind of much bigger sense of refinement than anything else they've produced. As a result, I think the 570 GT is without question the most rounded road car McLaren has yet produced.
The 570 GT is just as at home cruising along a motorway as it is tearing across a mountain pass, and in its most relaxed drive program, it's definitely more refined than the harder riding, slightly louder 570S. And it's this new breadth of dynamic ability that sets it apart from all other McLarens so far. However, at its heart, the GT is still a complete and utter madman of a sports car, with a 0 to 60 time of 3.3 seconds and a top speed of 204 miles an hour. It also sounds pretty juicy if you put the engine into its track mode and floor it, as you'll hear.
Hang on, I've got to show you this. I know it's going to be a little bit wobbly because I'm actually just holding the camera in my hand, but if you can see what's going on here, this is our closed piece of road. Thank you, chaps. Thank you. So, it's got this fabulous traction and just really lovely feel through the brakes. I haven't turned the ESC off because I actually tried a minute ago and it just said refer to owner's handbook, so they've clearly they don't want it switched off. We are on the public road after all, which is fair enough. The gearbox works really, really nicely when you put it in, when you dial everything up to the most aggressive. There is just a bit of understeer. There's definitely more understeer in the GT than there is in the 570S. They admit that, they say so. They've engineered it in just because it's not, you know, it's not the absolute bull terror of the range, but I'll tell you what though. So come on, right, verdict on the 570 GT. Having driven it down a motorway, having thrashed it silly across a closed piece of road and driven it over one of the most beautiful bits of road I think I've ever been on this earth. I think it's a peach, I really do. I think it's their best road car yet. They've just hit the bullseye again, they really have. They just keep getting better and better, and I also happen to think that the GT looks the best of the lot so far. It's got this beautiful elegance to it back there, and that extra bit of luggage behind, which is just, it's just the kind of icing on the cake really. Thank you McLaren for yet another blinder of a sports car.
Click on the video windows to watch a first drive of the GT's sportier brother, the 570S, or watch the new rear drive Lamborghini Huracan sliding around a track in Doha. Click on the play icon to watch our latest video, or on our logo to subscribe to our channel.